I think a lot of people are wondering, what is the future of Hezbollah, considering that Israel has broken the ceasefire agreement? They're continuing to bomb South Lebanon, and the resistance camps inside Syria have been closed down. So what can you tell us from your conversations and your knowledge about the future of Hezbollah in Lebanon?
I think it's very unpredictable how Hezbollah would be acting out after the end of the ceasefire. When we're speaking about Hezbollah today, we have to really segregate between the politics and the military. Anybody who chose to be in Hezbollah from Lebanon did not really have to pick and choose. It's more of an existential choice for them because they needed to be armed, they needed to be weaponized in order to protect themselves from an ongoing ethnic cleansing, occupying, rogue regime that is on their doorstep since 1948, killing their children and attacking their hospitals and their journalists. And because for so long in Lebanon, these people were never protected, it was different shapes and forms of resistances that took over the protection. So you saw Palestinian resistance groups in the beginning, some secular resistance groups, some Arabists, some communists, some nationalists, but the people, the actual men and women that became that resistance were men that were probably Fatah few years before that. The people in Lebanon, of all shapes and forms, of all sects, they have been under the attacks of the Israelis ever since Palestine was occupied, even before there was a declaration of something called Israel in the occupied Palestinian land. So on the military side, even if some shape of disarming will happen in the politics, I don't think that the people, the men who fought for all these years are just gonna retire now. Hours before we started this interview, Mnar, there was a man in a funeral in South Lebanon burying all his family, and they were lost in the rubble for all that time. They're not gonna get over it and just change their mind. The martyrdom is way too big, and the prices and the losses are too big. This doesn't get erased in collective memories and in collective society identities. So Hezbollah does not change overnight, does not vanish from Lebanese politics overnight. It is passing through a very testing time. And I tell you, if Hezbollah as an organization emerges from that stronger or weaker, it does not change the fact that this land and this people will emerge with a higher, even stronger resistance in a different form.